Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
Well, I have Elvis Presley on the show, so just sit down and relax. Okay, it's not the Elvis Presley, but it's the Elvis Presley. It's the one that is so good, it's hard not to think that he is here. But I was just talking to Chris Macdonald, who does the Memories of Elvis in concert over every year. We're so fortunate to have him. He's going to be over at the Parker Playhouse on Saturday, August 15th at 8 o'clock. So I was saying, though, to Chris that There are a few people, whether it's, I guess it's Frank Sinatra, Barbra Streisand, Elvis, and I don't know, maybe there are a couple others that I haven't added, who just go on and on forever.
Yeah, the music is timeless. You know, it's a part of our American history, music history, cultural history, and if it's good, it's good. You know, people are going to enjoy it forever. And that's definitely true.
And tell us, and I'm going to let you do this because you know so much about Elvis. So he was a little kid, and he lived, of course, in the South, and he used to go to church, and he used to hear gospel music. And then where did he get this music actually from that he made his own?
Well, besides the gospel that was around the area, rhythm and blues, which was predominantly at the time, a lot of it was influenced by black artists, you know, and they were performing the music, and it was all through that Mississippi Delta area where Elvis grew up, and so the infusion of gospel music, rhythm and blues, little country, you put it all together, mix it up, and it's rock and roll. And Elvis and the guys back then didn't really know what they were doing. They were just playing music that they loved. There was rhythm to it. It was something different. And kind of just exploded because back then you're looking at early television, too. As soon as Elvis hit the Ed Sullivan Show, the Milton Berle Show, Steve Allen, the golden age of television, this new genre of music was exposed to the masses. The kids went nuts for it. The parents were afraid of it. They even cut him off at the waist on the Ed Sullivan Show. They thought he moved around way too much. And what's cool about this show we're doing at Parker Playhouse, we have Elvis's original drummer, DJ Fontana. Now, this is a guy
How old is he?
He is in his 80s, of course, because Elvis, believe it or not, this coming January would have been 81 years old if he survived. But anyway, DJ Fontana is with us. He still plays music. He's going to be doing some of the early 50s material with us. DJ is the guy that you saw on the Ed Sullivan Show with Elvis, the beat behind the king. He was on all those early TV performances. He's the guy you hear on Hound Dog, you know, hitting those triplets, you know, the beginning of Hound Dog. He's the guy you hear like breaking rocks there in the sound back there, beating on the snare drum for Jailhouse Rock, Blue Suede Shoes. This is a guy on all of those recordings and a bunch of the early movies. He made Elvis move. He was the beat behind the king, and he's going to be with us on stage as a part of that 50s portion of the show. We also do a section of the show that's the movies, you know, all those great movies, Blue Hawaii, Viva Las Vegas. So we do all the, you know, bunch of songs from those movies, and then I do the change into the black leather and do that 1968 comeback when Elvis stopped doing all those movies and he performed for a live television special they set up and recorded, and we do that part of the show. We take a little break, and I come back in that white fringe 1970 outfit that Elvis had, and all that great songs he did live in concert in Las Vegas and throughout the country during the 70s. So it's a full show. We do basically 2.5 to 3 hours, you know, with the intermission. Elvis did over 900 songs, and we try to do them all.
Wait a minute.
Actually, we don't do 900 songs.
Wait a minute. He had 900 songs?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you combine all the material from the early 50s all the way through into the movies, he had some great country recordings, you know, in the 70s and you know, just great live performances. So 900 songs, at least 900 songs. Now, of course, we can't do them all, but we do try to do quite a few of them. We want to give you your money's worth of this show. I want you to enjoy yourself, have a good time, and share the memories of Elvis.
Yeah, and you do. And so I have so many questions. Let's see. My next question was, do you do this all over the country?
Yes, yeah. This is home base. We travel in and out of town from Fort Lauderdale. This is home base. This is where I started everything. But we travel throughout the country. It's a national tour. As a matter of fact, the week before we're here, we're doing shows in California. So this is what I do for a living, and we've developed a show that has a full horn section, rhythm section, 8-piece band, backup singers. We've got girl dancers that do production numbers during the show. And we also run video clips that bring you into those eras of Elvis's career in between those costume changes. So we're telling the story of the shy, humble country boy who became the king of rock and roll. And, it's a lot of fun.
You know, you said about Elvis starting, but tell me, who was he emulating with his shaking of his booty?
Well, let's just indicate, the music itself had a lot to do with that. He felt the music. He felt exactly, every beat he kind of worked off with his body, the lower half, let's admit it, his hips and legs and the shaky leg. And the more people reacted to it, the more he did it. And he had influences from Jackie Wilson, to blues stuff from B.B. King was in the mix. There was all kinds of influences that he had. But the way he moved in particular came from the music. And then, of course, the more people screamed, the more the moves occurred.
Well, and he was very good looking, and he had a great body, so he could do it.
Well, that's the whole thing. Everything timed out perfectly with Elvis. It was a golden age of television, golden age. There was a new genre of music. He was 18 years old, moved around, had sex appeal, and could deliver the energy, raw energy that was needed, and it all came together. And then he became a movie star, on screen. He was a recording artist, live performances with concerts. He was a triple threat. He was basically what they search for now when they have American Idol. Elvis was the original American Idol.
Yep,
and
that's
what we try to do. It's always done as a tribute. My show, I never say I'm Elvis during the show. I'm not saying I did this, I did that. The moves that I do are natural, similar to Elvis, but natural for me. The vocals are natural without going over the top, so you can appreciate the music. We do quality music, and I am not saying I'm Elvis during the show. I'm telling you the story of Elvis. I'm bringing you into the eras of his career with the look and the excitement that occurred during those different genres of music, the movies, 50s, black leather, the 70s. So it's all in tribute to his memory and to what he's given the world, with his performance, with his energy, with his connection with the audience. Because to me, that's what it's all about. Elvis connected through his music, through his songs, to everybody. I mean, when you hear that music, there's a direct connection, with the song, with the emotions of the song, what it meant to you. People have so many memories with this material. I have people constantly coming up to me and saying, I remember this song. It was our wedding song, Can't Help Falling in Love. I remember this song I heard at the drive-in, and it's passed down generational because my mom got me into music. I wasn't old enough or around to see Elvis live. My experience with the music came from my mom playing the records, sitting me down in front of a TV set on Saturday and Sunday afternoons to watch all those old movies, the beach movies, the scary movies. Elvis movies would come on, and even as just a little kid, I'd notice he'd beat up the bad guy, he'd win the race, and he had beautiful women chasing him.
That's what you wanted, right?
That's a great gig, no matter how you look at it. Anybody wants that gig. The beautiful women, that's what it's all about. But, rock and roll is cool, and Elvis was cool. Even as a child, no matter who sees the images and what you talk about, and even what happened, later on in his life, and things that could have been different. We wish they could have been different, but they weren't. Still, through all that, you cannot deny the effect of Elvis on pop culture, on American history of music, and the world. It's there, and that's what we try to do. We try to celebrate those memories.
So let me tell everybody again.
I'm not excited.
It is so wonderful. Yeah, and you're so special. He must be so happy that if someone is impersonating him, or let's just say is there they're
The tribute.
doing a tribute.
There you go.
Then he had to pick in his own somewhere, wherever he is. He had to pick someone, and he's, I know, very happy with you. So let me just reiterate, everyone, please get your pencils. You want to get to this show. It'll be taking you back to some other time in your life, and it is so fantastic. So it's Saturday, August the 15th. It's at 8 o'clock, and it's over there at Parker Playhouse. That's a beautiful, beautiful environment, by the way, and they have valet parking, and it's in Fort Lauderdale right off Sunrise. But it is, and something that I guess you had told me before, that DJ Fontana, Elvis's original drummer,
Yes.
the beat behind the king. Now, was he with you last time, too? I didn't remember this.
No, he wasn't.
Oh.
This is a special addition to the show.
Oh.
And you remember, this is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was with Elvis on everything. And he, during the early 50s and that birth of rock and roll, he's going to be there on stage playing those 1950s songs with us, Jailhouse Rock, Hound Dog, all that great stuff. And we're going to also be talking with him during the show about memories of Elvis that he has. Certain moments where backstage stuff that he's going to talk about, that people may not know about. So this is all a part of the show. And it's a special event. And he is in his 80s, but he's still rocking and rolling. And it'd be a great time. And you never know when you get this chance to see a part of music history with this gentleman.
So you're saying that your other shows that you do after this, he does not go with that?
He will not be. He's not in the shows. Well, there's a couple. One in Orlando he'll be with in February. He'll be with us in February. But he's not. He hasn't been here to South Florida with us since 2009.
Wow. So this is very special, everybody.
Yes.
Please do buy your tickets. They're not expensive, and you'll never forget it. Let me give you a phone number. 954-462-0222. That's the number to call for tickets. You can go to the website parkerplayhouse.com, and if you have Boomer Times in your hand, or just go get it, it's, of course, our July issue, and we put it right where the partial list of veterans registered for the 14th Boomer Expo is, because we know that those people are going to look for their names, and we wanted to make sure they saw their advertising for this, because we love to feature people that are going to bring smiles on our readers' faces. And I'll bet there isn't a person. In fact, probably does it annoy you that people want to sing with you?
It's fantastic. That's what it's all about. These are how much these songs are connected to us. And if you connect with people, if you're doing one thing in this life, that's something that's good.
I'll tell you something else that's funny, that I'm a judge for the Senior Idol, and we have a lot of people who try to imitate Frank Sinatra and even Barbra Streisand, but very few try to do the Elvis. It's just too hard to do.
There's so much there. There's a lot of great material, all kinds of dynamics, from the early 50s stuff to the big ballads, power ballads. We do My Way, The Wonder of You, beautiful songs like that. And we also do, at the end, always, a special tribute to the veterans and the troops with a song called American Trilogy. And it's always a part of the show. So we got to pay our respects to veterans. My grandfather, who's not with us anymore, was a Marine in World War II. And it's one of his favorite songs. It used to be one of his favorite songs.
Well, let me just tell you, I think Frank Sinatra, there was a big documentary on him recently, and actually Elvis was in that. Did you happen to see it?
Frank Sinatra, yes, I did see that.
Isn't that wonderful that he and Elvis were singing together?
Yes. You mentioned that. I actually did a very special event for a private company, a private party at the Fontainebleau, where they had that return. Elvis returned from the Army. Frank Sinatra had a special at the Fontainebleau, and Elvis was on it. We actually reenacted that special for this corporate event at the Fontainebleau.
Really?
During the anniversary of that, yeah. So that's a great moment. You had Elvis and Frank Sinatra. They sang "Love Me Tender" together.
Right.
And Witchcraft. It was very, and we reenacted that and had a ball doing that.
Yeah, I loved it. I saw that. I said, "Oh my gosh, two of the best Well,
Sounds
that was absolutely wonderful. So tell me, do you have a family yourself?
Yes, I do. Yep, I've got a wife and kids, and just like everybody else. And this music, of course, what I do. I want to make sure that I pass this on generational. So so they definitely are fans of the music, and we want them to keep it on down the line.
So do you have a son who you think would like to do this?
You know something? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. You know what? He's more of a comedian than which, something, I'll support that completely. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, so do they come? So they come when you're in Fort Lauderdale, maybe to see the show and say, "Wow, that's my dad."
Yes, they do once in a while, and it's always good to know that the show does work for all ages. It's a family show. That's what the music's about. So people can enjoy it all ages, and bring the grandkids, if you want, bring the children. It's one of those kind of shows that, of course, if they can stay up that late, because remember we're doing
it's 8
quite
o'clock.
a bit of material.
Yeah, that's true. But also, tell me about something you said last time about the Graceland's Heartbreak Hotel, that
Yes.
You're the only person that they really allowed to do this?
Yes, I actually worked for Elvis Presley Enterprises, the estate. They hired me to perform at Graceland's Heartbreak Hotel for 7 years. I was there every August for the Memorial Week, and then every January for the birthday tribute. And I was able to perform during those times for fans from all over the world that make the pilgrimage to Graceland, at those particular times. So
did you get to use his guitar?
Have I what?
Did you get to use his guitar?
No, they don't. They keep those kind of locked up. But just the fact of even doing it 1 year would have been fantastic. But to continuously do it and to be doing something, I believe the way I'm doing my show as a tribute, you get that honor from the estate. You're doing something right. And,
absolutely.
It's definitely something that I truly am an Elvis fan. The show is done as a tribute, not an overdone impersonation. It's a tribute to what Elvis did, and there'll only be one Elvis ever.
Right, and the one thing, and it's very personal, but I love your hair.
Thank you very much.
I mean, is that? I know this is bad for me to ask. Is it a wig or is it really?
No, that's me.
Sorry.
No, that's me. That's me, and of course a little darkening, because that's what Elvis did too. His hair was light brown, and he started darkening his hair when he went into the movies. They thought it was going to look better on screen. So from when he started the movies till the end of his life, he blackened his hair.
No kidding. Well, but your cut and everything is so perfect. You were just kind of made for this. I'm glad your mother really took hold of you on all this, because I know you talked about her before, and she's will she be there at your performance?
She should be. Yeah, she usually tries to be there for it, and she got me into this music. She's not. Understand, she's an Elvis fan, but she's not a fanatic. I mean, she's not. So there's certain situations where, it's not over. Believe me, it's not over the top with her. She just loved the music. She played it for me. We watched some of the old movies, and she supports what I'm doing as an entertainer, because that's kind of the way I'm doing the show. I'm an entertainer doing a tribute to Elvis. I haven't lost my mind. I don't think I'm Elvis. I'm doing a show in tribute to a legendary music icon. It's a tribute, and I'm sharing those memories that you have with you while I'm on stage performing that music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, and it's just lovely. I'm just always so happy when I get a chance to talk to you, because you are such a humble person and so enthused. And boy, if Elvis could come back, I'd love to see both of you standing there doing this together.
I'd love to see it myself. I definitely, I never had the chance to see him
I
live.
did. I told you that when we were on the last, I don't know if you know that, on the last interview. I did see him at the Olympia Theater, because I grew up in Miami.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
And we did. Yeah. That's right, the Olympia Theater.
We talked about it.
And we actually performed at the Olympia Theater a few years back. I
Did
did a
you
show
really?
There on the same stage.
Oh, right. Well, I saw him, and even then, it was in early 1950s. It must have been 55, 56, and And I remember the line around. And, of course, I don't even know why I was there. I mean, I don't know how I found out about it, anything. But let me tell you, when I left, I couldn't talk because I was screaming so.
That was the exciting times, too. That was magic. You were a part of a very special event, definitely.
That's right, and I wouldn't forget that. And I love his music, even though I don't do too much of the gospel music, but what he did, and just I love the shaking, of course. That was very exciting for me too. The whole thing, because I was just 17 or 18, whatever it was, and I just absolutely am so happy that there's someone like you that has taken this on, and even having DJ Fontana. I mean, he would never do this with you if he didn't think that you were the real thing.
We have such a great time. He's done quite a few shows with us each year, and it's just such a pleasure. It's hearing stories, stuff. But even when we're not on stage, we're sitting down having breakfast or hanging out or something, and he shares some little moment that you don't know for sure if anybody else heard about.
Mm-hmm.
It's great, and the guy truly loves to perform. I mean, it's something where on stage, it's a passion for him, and you can tell he truly enjoys doing the music, and he's a pleasure to be around.
Okay, so now just let me tell everybody again, because it's really important. This is not Elvis Presley, but he does the tribute to Elvis Presley better than anybody could ever do. His name's Chris Macdonald. It's called Memories of Elvis in Concert. It's going to be in Fort Lauderdale. We are so lucky. I mean, if you lived in a little town somewhere, you wouldn't have this opportunity. It's right here in Fort Lauderdale. You ought to get there. And the nicest thing is when you come to the Boomer Expo, thanks to Chris, we have 2 tickets at each of our drawings. So we have 8 tickets to give away.
That's right.
And I mean, I know when we did this last time also, people go crazy. I mean, it's like, they'll say, well, I don't want that other thing. Can I have some more of those tickets? I said, no, this was what we're giving. You have to take the other.
That's great.
Yeah, they're very excited about it.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
No, it's really wonderful. People have loved this, and we're just so happy that that you are down here again. So when Elvis was performing, though, in the early years, who did he have perform with him? Just himself and maybe a drummer and what?
Usually the earlier part of it was the Scotty Moore playing guitar, and Bill Black was on that stand-up bass, and then they added DJ Fontana, and he was they picked him up during the Louisiana Hayride, which Elvis performed on with some other acts. That was a show that they had, and DJ was from Shreveport, and they got together, and that's how they performed right off during those early 50s times. And of course later on when RCA picked up his contract, they were able to add piano and everything else to the recordings and stuff, and went on from there. But those early days, it was Elvis on the guitar, Scotty Moore, Bill Black, and DJ.
So he really had to be quite a performer to be able to get that kind of music out. It's easy once you start bringing in, big orchestras and all. Of course, that was, I think, Frank Sinatra's claim to fame, too. He had these fantastic, the sound that came with him. But for Elvis to start, with just the bare bones.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's true. Sam Phillips with Sun Label, he, created those first recordings, That's Right, Mama, and Blue Moon in Kentucky, and Mystery Train, and all those songs at Sun Studio. And they got all that sound from just those guys playing, and people couldn't believe it. They, where's the rest of the band, that kind of stuff, and it shows you that if you got the right people and the right energy and what's going on, you can put a lot of sound out.
Right, and then what is the history of his learning to play the guitar? Was he just a little kid, or what? Or is that just common?
Yeah, he started off as a little kid. His mother got him a guitar, and he played around a little bit with it. But he even said later on that he knew a few chords, but he faked them all. So basically, he played guitar. He did a lot with that. But of course, they had Scotty Moore playing the lead guitar, the electric guitar, and then later on James Burton. And Elvis always didn't play the guitar during every one of his songs, because he was a singer and communicator. So he would put the guitar down and sing, perform for the audience. But that early stuff there, they had that early sound, which is basically considered rockabilly. That's what it was.
Rockabilly?
Yeah, rockabilly.
I've heard that. So that I see, but that didn't go very. It's more rock and roll. I'll tell you something that. Yeah. Well, have you ever been invited to do a themed cruise? Because there are. Have you done that?
No, I haven't done any theme cruises. But it could be an option at some point. Sure.
Right, because I'm going on. We've been advertising the Flower Power Cruise, which of course is the 70s. But
Sure.
I went on. Actually, before this, I went on one, and they had, they had Herman's Hermits starring Peter Noan,
Sure.
and so I was just wondering because I'll tell you what they did have. I think I may have told you this before. They had in the lounge. No, actually, one of the shows they had about 10 Elvises.
Okay.
They all dressed up, and some were. It's funny if you closed your eyes. Some had a gorgeous voice. When you opened your eyes, they didn't look anything like Elvis. And then the ones that looked like Elvis didn't sound like Elvis.
It's a hard thing.
It is.
It's
why
a hard thing.
I have to applaud you. Yay! I have to applaud you because you've put it all together.
That's all we can hope for is to try to present a positive image of the show, a positive image of the memories, and show the best of our ability and make it fun for everybody and be a quality show, and that's what we try to do.
It is. That's why it's always so successful, and we're so happy that we're always involved with you when you come down here. Chris Macdonald's Memories of Elvis in concert with a special guest star rock and roll Hall of Famer DJ Fontana, Elvis's original drummer, the beat behind the king. Saturday, August 15th, 8 p.m. Make sure you call for tickets 954-462-0222 or go to parkerplayhouse.com. Well, I am so thrilled to have talked to you again. It's never a dull moment, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, good success.
All the best.
All right, you too. Bye.